From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
The White House confirms that forced stimulus is needed because the jobs are not restored in this economy. In a press briefing this morning, the White House announces that across the land, forced stimulus is needed because jobs are still not back to normal, repeating the comments from Sunday and affirming the comments from Sunday from Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, who said this economy is not restored. Meantime, shocking new data that came out just in the last few minutes about the resurgence of the virus across the country. And this concern is now causing a wonder of where stimulus is going. Meantime, in this recording, I go over not one, but three incredible great details happening this morning. First, monthly stimulus checks are at play for the fourth stimulus package that could pay up to $2,000 if you're on SSI and SSDI. Second, $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness is likely to be announced later this week. I'm exclusive reporting. Third, I'm also exclusively reporting that the $10,000 EIDL grants from 2020 are being paid this week. And finally, if you did not catch it, the president is now suggesting that under the fifth stimulus package this fall, children will be paid lifetime benefits to age 18 of $300 a month. I have all the big exciting news across the board and new details about the resurgence of the virus and the shocking new warning from WHO. It's a big noontime recording from across the land. I'm so excited for you. Let's get to it. And this is Noontime LA. Hey, good noontime, everybody. How are you? It's home LA, our lighthearted, easy breezy midday report on LA. Hope you are really great and safe, and hope you had a beautiful weekend. Thank you for joining me on those throwback hysterical videos yesterday from the lone guy. Guess what? Javita Late's back later today, a Javita Late throwback special. Get ready to get the Kleenex out because you're going to be crying laughing at this one. Also, the very unremembered anniversary special, a very wonderful anniversary special, a 2-month anniversary special from back in the archive vaults I'm bringing out. You're going to love this one. Laughs, cries, tears, chaos, terror on set, violence in the town, and more. Boy, this is a great video. You got to watch that. That's later this afternoon on LALATE. Thank you for joining me. In this recording, we're going to go over a lot of details. First, that multiple stimulus check push under the fourth stimulus package. It got incredible great news today from no less than the White House. Wow, really great news. It also got great news yesterday from Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve Chair. I'll have all those details. Second, you're only hearing this on this channel. That $10,000 EIDL grant is being paid this week. Also, a series of other grants, if you need them, are going live this week. Only hearing them on this channel. Then, wow, $50,000 of student loan debt, I'm reporting exclusively, will be announced later this week by executive order. What a lot of stuff in one recording, from exclusives to breaking news. Let's get to it first, but make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board, and this is the most comprehensive, the most accurate, the most in-depth financial news channel there is. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Let's get to the details right off the bat. First, as to the $1,400 third stimulus check, if you are a veteran, it's landing this Wednesday by direct deposit if you've not received it, April 14th. So watch for it. And then mail checks for everyone else, they're late. They're about 2 weeks late. All right, let's get to that fourth stimulus package. And the incredible breaking news happened this morning. The press secretary was asked during a live press briefing, which you may have watched if you're tuning into Mornings LA, about Federal Chair Jerome Powell's comments on 60 Minutes last night. What did he say? What were the comments? Let's go over first what he said. This is Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, what he said on Sunday to 60 Minutes in a taped recording that aired yesterday. He said it's highly unlikely that the Federal Reserve would raise interest rates this year. He said that the economy is not rebounded, and so I am not raising interest rates. Then he also said the Federal Reserve will continue to support the economy for as long as it takes to complete the recovery. Very clear. This is not a changed message from this man, Jerome Powell. Same message he's had for the entirety of the year. So he said we need stimulus. I'm going to continue to support the economy. Good. So a very good reporter asked the press secretary during the morning's press briefing today, Monday, about that 60 Minutes interview. And the press secretary said, I heard the comments. I didn't see the full interview, but I agree. Wow. She said there's 8 million jobs missing. There is. And we need to support this economy. Yes. And we need to have all those people back to restored employment. Until they're restored, we need to support this economy with stimulus. Wow. This is the best news you could have to start the new day. Why? Because it's exactly the same message that the White House and the Federal Reserve has had since last year. You don't want them to lose the messaging. Here's what you need to know. The White House and the Federal Reserve both agree that stimulus will remain in hand and still be done until jobs and employment is restored. There's 2 benchmarks to determine whether jobs are restored and employment is restored. It is the monthly jobless numbers released once a month and the unemployment claims number released every Thursday. Currently, there's 8 million jobs missing. 2 Fridays ago, the March jobs numbers came out. The press secretary talked about it. She said it wasn't a good number. I don't agree with her on that one. It was a good number. 1 million jobs were restored to this economy, 8 million missing. That means in 8 months, all the jobs will be restored. Here's what she was not asked, because these are not financial news reporters asking the questions to her. She was not asked about the series of news reports from Wall Street that says this month, as the country reopens, they are estimating 2 million jobs will be restored to this economy this month. 2 into 8 is 4 months, meaning this economy could be restored in 4 months. Well, this is a concern for stimulus for you. Why? Because you don't want the jobs restored before the stimulus bill is done. Clearly, if they sign the stimulus bill today, you would get stimulus checks, but it takes a while to get the bill to the Senate. Let's go over those stimulus checks first in a second before we cut back to why these numbers are so at play across the board. When you look at the stimulus numbers across the board, this is what's happening. If they got this bill to a law in June and the checks going out in July, the senators, the Democratic senators, word on the street is they want to pay anywhere from $1,400 a month individual to $2,000 a month individual. Who gets this? Everyone. Everyone that's watching this channel gets this. This would amount to $8,400 for a single individual or $12,000. Who gets these stimulus checks under the 4th stimulus package if they do this? Anyone who got a 3rd stimulus check, $75,000 or less, single individual, $150,000 or less, married couple, a household family of 4. Remember, this is the check amount for one person in a 4-person household. If you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Rural Benefits, you would get this. Now, there's 3 different forces at issue. One of the big forces at issue is, would it be done by the House or by the Senate? The House is led by progressives that want to do it. The Senate is led by really movers and shakers, the people who define the policy of the Democratic caucus. The House members want to give you $2,000 the first month and $1,000 every month. The senators have not said the amount, but insiders believe that they are looking for $1,400 a month to $2,000 a month. And then the time frames are slightly different. The House wants to do it pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate wants to do it to December. Here's a side note before I continue. When's a pandemic going to end? Boy, that is $1 million question. I keep on saying, sometimes like September, October. Guess what? A new report that came out just minutes ago shows a massive resurgence of COVID cases across the country, bigger than it was before. Remember, it was 5,000 new cases a day. It's now showing we're at the worst level of new COVID cases since the month of July last year. They say that while the vaccination rates are at record numbers, not record number of people being vaccinated every day, the number of COVID cases are now surging to record numbers. Now they're urging the state of Michigan to completely go on lockdown because Michigan is absolutely out of control. They're saying that vaccinations is not a solution to the problem if the COVID cases are so rapidly growing. All right, so let's go back to those 4 stimulus checks. The issue at hand is that the White House gave us incredible support today by saying this economy is not rebounded, we need stimulus. Amen. That's great news. It's great news now, but the message that you need to know is that speed is of the issue, is of the essence. You need this bill in the Senate now, as soon as possible, because as the White House said this morning, the economy is not rebounded. Well, what about this economy in August? What about this economy in September? Will it be economically rebounded? And will those jobs be restored? It's too hard to tell. And this is really what it's at play. Wall Street, the Federal Reserve, and the White House are all looking at a mixture of good stimulus news and bad stimulus news. The good stimulus news stems from bad economic data. But for every bad economic data that's out there, there's good economic data. And the good numbers are growing faster than the bad numbers. The good economic data is the jobs numbers from 2 weeks ago, showing 1 million jobs being restored and there's only 8 million missing per month. The PPI number released last Friday, absolutely the best in over a decade. Let's look at that number. It showed our highest growth in 10 years. This is the Producer Price Index. Highest growth in 10 years. Enormous growth in this economy happening right now. And the CPI is coming out, I believe it's tomorrow. It's expected to be really good news. You don't want good news for purpose of stimulus before they get the bill signed because they may get cold feet. Well, here's the bad news, and this is what the White House looked upon today, and this is what the Federal Reserve Chair looked upon yesterday in that CBS News report for 60 Minutes. Bad data, unemployment claims. Very bad. Continuing unemployment claims, also really bad. And the small business shuttering, very, very bad. Let's look at all those numbers right now. First, the number of jobless claims last Thursday just shocked everyone. Everyone thought it was going to improve, and it didn't improve. And it was just jaw dropping. Let's look at the continuing unemployment claims. There's 3.73 million unemployed people in the country. That number is not improved, and it's not going to improve for a while, potentially, because new jobless claims last Thursday were bad. 744 estimates were 50,000 less. So Wall Street thought we were going to get better. We didn't get better. We didn't even stay the same. We got worse. This helps stimulus. This helps your monthly stimulus check. Because if we're looking at that, or we're looking at continuing unemployment claims, or we're looking at states like California and New York, numbers going through the roof, new unemployment claims, 40,000 new unemployed people just last week in the state of California. This shows you why forced stimulus needs to be done right away. Bad data really means more stimulus. Let's recap. What's important to understand is the following issue. The White House gave you incredible great news today, saying that there's a lot of bad data out there and that bad data is overwhelming and we need stimulus. Wow, this is great news. It's great news. So they understand there clearly is good data, but they're not ignoring it. They're saying there's bad data. Until we solve the bad data, we need more stimulus. This is great news. The Federal Reserve Chairman on 60 Minutes last night said bad data is out there, bad economic data. We need to solve this. We need stimulus until all the bad data is gone. Great news. So what do you need to know? Push, Purple Power. Push. It's a 2-month process at least for a reconciliation bill. This is April. Congress goes on lots of recesses starting in July to September. This is April. May, June. Yeah, you're seeing what I'm talking about. You need that bill in the Senate soon, starting in the next few days, getting going, because you can't start this bill in the month of May because that is worrisome. It's worrisome for a couple reasons. One, they're going to go on recess. Number two, the economic data by August may be very good. You don't know. You simply don't know. It's too risky to guess. And third, it takes a little bit of time. So what's really at issue here? What's at issue here, someone asked me earlier, is a tow truck on the highway? It's not on the highway. But I'm predicting that it's likely to be on the highway next week. What's going on is the President of the United States has an infrastructure bill, the 4 stimulus package. It has 3 provisions in there, and one kills it for purposes of bipartisanship. And that's climate. Republicans don't want to do climate. Good. Republicans don't want to give a stimulus check. Yeah, we got that. Only people who want to give you stimulus checks are Democrats this time around. And the only process to get those stimulus checks, thank you, Pamela, for coming to Purple Hawk, is that reconciliation process. So you want the tow truck to start. How does it go? 2-step process. Part 1, they do the tow truck, which is to determine procedurally they're agreeing to do a reconciliation. There's no substance to it. It's just a procedural bill. Do we agree to do a reconciliation? Yeah. So they send it to the House subcommittee. The House, agree. Senate, agree. To the President, agree. Then the tow truck is passed over the finish line. Next is the tow hitch. What is Lily going to be in the substance of what's done? The tow hitch then goes to the House. We want this and we want that. Good. That takes a little while. Remember Richard Neal? Yeah, you remember him. If you're a member, you remember his writings for the 3rd stimulus package. It goes to those subcommittees. They may put in there their stimulus checks. Remember those House members, those progressives that want to give you that stimulus check. They want to give you $2,000 the first month and $1,000 thereafter. They may put that in there before it gets to the Senate. But if they don't worry, because the path to get that stimulus done is during that 2-day event when the bill lands in the Senate called a vote-a-rama. During the vote-a-rama, 2 days, 48 hours, senators are allowed to propose amendments to the bill. And that's where they plan these things out, not days ahead of time, not weeks, but months ahead of time. If you've been with me for a while, you have seen how Democrats prepare vote-a-rama provisions ages ahead of time. The student loan debt forgiveness, which is coming up later in this video, the tax forgiveness of a student loan debt forgiveness, making the event a tax-free event was done by vote-a-rama by Schumer and Warren after months of plotting it out. The $10,200 of unemployment, the first $10,200 of unemployment tax-free from 2020, plotted out months ahead of time. It wasn't done at the 11th second. You see it at the 11th second. We see it at the 11th hour. But it's literally plotted out ahead of time. Ultimately, these get in there. They go back to Nancy's house. She's going to agree to it. She likes this type of stuff. And then the president signs it into law. 21 of 50 Democrat senators want you to have it. And the way we go. So that is your 4th stimulus. More about that coming up later in this video. But wow, here are the 2 big other exclusives. In addition to a monthly stimulus check under the 4th stimulus package that could pay upwards of about $2,000 a month starting approximately in the month of July, guess what? I got more for you. If you are a 2020 applicant for the EIDL grant, congratulations. They are sending out those invites of $10,000 right now, this week, and viewers are getting it. And these are viewers who applied for the EIDL grant at the very end. What's going on? What's going on, you're only hearing from this channel exclusively right now. And these are the details. The EIDL grant was opened in 2020 from March to about May, then closed from May to about June, and then reopened for about 1 week in the month of July. It has now been reopened to pay the remainder of the $10,000 grant to people who are in low-income-based communities first, and then everyone else after that second. What I can exclusively report is it's not being done at all in chronological order. It's not being done in chronological order. And in some cases, it's not being done based upon where you're located either. It's just being done randomly. Yes. So I have viewers who are July applicants at the very end of the process of 2020 who are not in low-income based communities getting the invite before people who are in low-income based communities from April. It's just all over the place. And those emails started in February, but they're really ramping up now. I'm also hearing that the non-low-income based community ones are going out in the next few days as well. If you've gotten those messages, send me a DM and tell me anything that you know that you can share as well. It really helps in understanding the analytics of the situation. And then there's the $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. Wow. Boy, this is a detail which I've been covering since October of last year, and away we go. I am really, really excited for you. And this, again, is only something you're hearing exclusively on this channel. What's at issue? $50,000 of student loan debt. For who? Current students, former students. Any type of debt is really currently at issue. And the money has been really a big subject matter of Leader Schumer, from Senator Warren and others for months. They've been pushing for it since October of last year. And 2.5 weeks ago, the president finally gave in. After really, really hammering him with videos, social media campaigns, and similar from Leader Schumer and Senator Warren, they got through. And finally, he gave in and said, okay, I will have my education secretary prepare a deal memo that determines the legal validity of a president to forgive student loan debt by executive order. And that letter is due this coming Friday. And if it says I can do it, I will forgive it. Well, Senator Warren has released a video that says you can do it. Obama did it. Trump did it. Of course you can do it. This is a no-brainer. And apparently, the narrative from the White House, according to Schumer's other video, was back earlier this year in January. The president didn't want to do it because he said, well, if I forgave your student loan debt, you'd have to pay taxes on the student loan debt that I just forgave. Guess who got that forgiven as well? Yes, Schumer and Warren, during the vote-a-rama, quietly got the forgiveness of student loan debt a tax-free event under law. It never was before. So with the stroke of a pen, as Schumer and Warren says, that could become a reality. And I'm reporting you're likely to hear that announcement this Thursday or Friday. A lot of exciting, great details, and I'm not done. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. If you have questions or comments so far in the live chat, drop them, and I'll answer them after the commercial break. Be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Noontime LALATE. How are you? It's a big Monday noontime with a lot of exciting details, and I'm going to recap them right now for you and also answer some of your great questions you dropped during the commercial break. Keep those questions coming. I see them on air with me right now. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is the channel where you want to stay in touch. We're approaching our 1-year anniversary later this month, and we're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers. We're about 4,000 away, so let's do it. Coming up later today is the 2-month anniversary special, a throwback video. You'll lie, you'll cry, you'll laugh, you'll tear. It is really, really all over the place. Has laughs, jokes, music, and very, very shocking revelations you've never seen before for this video. Also find when I felt fearful and worried about my safety on set one time as well. Yes, there's a lot of details in that video. And then Jevita LALATE is back tonight. Get your scarf ready. It may be a little bit warm where you are, but get that scarf ready because Jevita LALATE is tangoing back into the room. So also like this video, and if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Let me go over the big details. First, third stimulus checks for veterans are coming this Wednesday, as I first told you over 2-3 weeks ago. April 14th is your effective date for direct deposit. If you have not gotten one already, I've had hundreds of thousands who have gotten already during the prior rounds. If you've not got your mail checks, watch the mail. And if you've not gotten any checks, you're going to have to request them from IRS. Next, $1,400 or $2,000 monthly stimulus checks are heating up under the fourth stimulus package. The president's infrastructure bill will, over the next 3 to 4 days, continue its narrative of trying to get bipartisan support, but it's never going to happen because the Republicans have made very clear they're not going to give it because of climate. They don't want to do the climate that's in the bill. So the bill will go by reconciliation process. What you want to do, Purple Power, is reach out to the cabinet members you have seen on the videos on this channel, to your Democratic senators and your Democratic House members to say, do this by recon. Number one, time is of the essence. It takes 2 months, and we're pushing up on that summer break for congressional members. You don't want to do that. Number two, you want to get it done quicker rather than later. We need the relief now. You don't want to wait. And finally, it's important that you get it done now for your purposes because the Democrats want to give you those monthly stimulus checks. The Republicans say they don't want to give you any stimulus checks. So away we go. Also, what you're hearing for the first time on this channel is a series of exclusives about business grants. First, I can exclusively report to you that the 2020 EIDL grant, which you may never have gotten, the remainder of $10,000 or any of the $10,000, is being paid now already to viewers of this channel. It's not being done in any order. It's just being done randomly. Watch your email inbox. The only way you can do it is getting that email. So you just watch for it and watch the spam folder. It will request you to provide information, and the turnaround time is very narrow, so you got to respond very quickly. Number two, the shuttered venue grant I can report is about to reopen, or it has been reopened at the time of this broadcast. It was shut down on Friday after going live shortly because of a technical problem with their website. It's at sba.gov, and it's not just for venues. Then the PPP grant is now back live again by executive order of the President of the United States, and the restaurant grant's about to go live. Then the $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness is about to happen as a reality. I can exclusively report. The president wants to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. I can report because he's likely to get the deal memo from his education secretary this Friday. That's the deadline, which will state likely, if Elizabeth Warren is correct, that the president has executive authority under the Constitution to forgive student loan debt. Obama has done it, apparently, and Trump has done it. So Biden can do it as well. $50,000 would mean all of your student loan debts are wiped out up to that amount. We still waiting for the deal provisions if it covers both private and publicly held debt, but this is across the board, wiped out, and away we go. It's important to also understand how the day started with incredible great news. As the press secretary to the president came out and said, yeah, we need stimulus because this economy is not rebounding. She was referring to the comments by Jerome Powell on 60 Minutes, which said that the Federal Reserve will continue to support the economy to the end of this year. And that's really great news. It's important to understand that the push and support for stimulus must come from the Federal Reserve and must also come from the White House before it even comes from the Congress. Bad economic data helps you get stimulus. The more bad economic data that continues to manifest itself, the more you get a push for stimulus. You don't want to wait around because ultimately, if that takes too long, then we could be replaced with only good economic data. And there we go. Thank you for your great questions and comments I see in the live chat. Let me see some of the other questions people have asked as well. So Pamela asking about forced stimulus. Let me put up the graphic again for forced stimulus so you understand the calculations and understand the amounts at issue. So forced stimulus could manifest itself either from a senatorial route or a House route. The House progressives want to give it to you, and the Senate Democrats want to give it to you. The House Democrats want to give you $2,000 a month the first month, $2,000 the first month and $1,000 every month thereafter, continuing 1 year after the pandemic, whereas the senators want to go till December. But the senators don't give the amount of their monthly stimulus check. Word on the street says that they want to give you about $1,400 to $2,000. And away we go. Very exciting, great news. How and where should we get this started, says Angela. So this is what you need to know. Thank you for that great question, Angela. So this is what you need to know. You need to push Purple Power. Share these videos on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hashtag MSC. All together. Hashtag MSC. Hashtag Purple Power. Who should you tag and who should you contact? Your congressional senators, your your Democratic senators, your Democratic House members, also the cabinet members who you've seen those videos from the White House, commerce, labor, transportation, energy. They want to hear from you. So reach out to the staff and be professional and say, we need to get this bill done. We need to get it to reconciliation. Congress goes on vacation in July. It's too close to run this up against the door, get it starting in recon. Ultimately, as soon as this gets into recon, we can all breathe a sigh of relaxation. The president is trying to make it look like he wants to do it by bipartisanship. It's not going to work because the Republicans don't want to give him climate. Once we get this into recon, we can relax. Then we can push with the people who want to give you monthly stimulus checks to remind them, yeah, don't give up your push to the people who want to give you stimulus checks. But you need to get this to the reconciliation process. And away we go. Thank you for those great questions and great comments. And wow, what a big day it is. I'll next see you on Afternoons Early with a lot of big recordings. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and I'll have more updates about the $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness, the $10,000 EIDL grant now being paid, and those monthly forced stimulus checks. Finally, there was one last bit that was manifest this morning in that interview, which was the push by the president to give lifetime benefits to children under the age of 18 under the fifth stimulus package this fall. I'll have more about that at Afternoons LA. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay LA for more.